Hey, good morning. I'm glad everyone liked the bread making video, and somebody requested bread that's not yeast raised because yeast is apparently hard to find nowadays. So I decided to make Irish soda bread. I usually make it at St. Patrick's Day, but it's an easy bread. Probably have all the ingredients in your kitchen, and I'm going to use my favorite book that has Irish soda bread recipe in it, and it's this book, the Irish Pub Cookbook, and it's got a great easy recipe. So follow along and I'll tell you the ingredients, and this time I will include the salt. Okay, so I've got my mixing bowl. This is my sifter. It's just a mesh strainer. And to my sifter, I'm going to add 3 2/3 cups flour. So that's 1, 2, 3. And I just use the scoop method to pull my flour out. And here's the 2/3. 1, 2. And to that, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon salt and 1 teaspoon baking soda. So even though it's called baking soda bread, it doesn't have a lot of baking soda in it. I'm going to sift that in my bowl. Get all the clumps out so it's nice and strained and fine flour. And I'm using kosher salt, so you'll see that doesn't go through the strainer very well, but I'm going to get all the flour bits out. Actually, there's a lot of flour bits, so I'm going to discard that and put a new teaspoon of salt in there. Okay, so I've got my sifted dry ingredients, and I'm going to use this tool, which I found out the name of it is a Danish dough whisker, and you can get this on any retail kitchen store. So to my dry mix, I'm going to add 1 3/4 cups buttermilk. Now I don't have buttermilk, so what this is milk, 1 3/4 cups of milk, and I added about a tablespoon and a half, maybe 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, and I let it sit for about 15 minutes, and I don't know if you can see as I pour it in, there's a big clump going in right there. It curdles up and becomes buttermilk. So I'm going to mix that up. And it's a very wet dough. And if you've ever made scones or scones before, this is kind of a similar dough to that. And the key to getting it nice and fluffy and not hard as a brick is, and the same process with biscuits, is not to mix it too much. So there it is mixed in. I'm going to add just a wee bit of flour to my board, and I'm going to shape this out into a circle. So get as much as I can. Get my hand floured so the flour doesn't stick to my hand. Nice and cold. There's no butter in here. It's just flour, salt, baking soda, and buttermilk. So I'm going to knead this just slightly so I can get it into a nice ball shape. Not a lot. Now I have my same pizza pan with the holes in it that I floured. And I'm going to put that on there. And one other thing that's unique about the Irish soda bread is the design you cut in it. Because it's Irish and you make it at St. Patrick's Day, you want to put a cross in it. So nice deep cuts. You can also add a little more sugar to this and raisins or currants to give it a nice sweet flavor. Or you can rub milk on here and sprinkle sugar on it too if you want a sweeter bread. But this is all it is, very simple. We're going to bake this for 30 minutes in a 425-degree oven. Welcome back. The bread's out of the oven. It's nice and cool, or not cool, it's still warm to the touch. I'm going to cut it open and see if it looks just like the one in the book. Hear that crunchiness? Oh, there we got some nice, ooh, that smells good. You smell that, Liam? Okay, Liam's gonna be my taste tester, although he doesn't want to be on camera. Kind of looks like the bread I did the other night. But this bread, just like the yeast bread I did the other night, can be made into sandwich. You can make this into a sandwich loaf, toast it, it's nice toasted, or just put some butter on it. Nice melts in. Cup of tea, some raspberry rhubarb jam, there you go, Liam. Tell us what you think.
It's warm.
How's it taste?
Delicious.
Delicious. There you go. This is for Barb Schneider. Bread you can use for toast or sandwiches that does not have yeast. Irish soda bread. Enjoy.